Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas.
Thank you very much for watching. Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's March 21st of 2022, and it's almost midnight. We had some severe weather today in this area. I don't know, a tornado hit down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm not sure how close it hit here. I mean, but they set off the sirens, and I woke up before that, just a little bit before I heard the rain coming down pretty hard. So I got up, got dressed, and grabbed my camera. Let me see here. Got cables underneath this desk, by the way. I rearranged some things, and I need to. I got some big cables underneath my feet there. I mean, no chance of. But anyway, I grabbed this camera, which I haven't used in a long time. This is a really nice camera. It's a Panasonic LX7. Now they've upgraded it to, I think they like that LX11 or something by now. It's a small, really handy camera. I really, really like it. But I haven't used it I tried to use it today. And I'd forgotten how anything about it. I just been years and years since I used it. And I don't know what I did. I think I made some videos with, I think that's the one I made the videos with. And no audio. I'm not sure what that was all about. I mean, it's my fault, something I did wrong, and I was, of course, doing it real quick. I did take some videos on my cell phone, and so I wonder if I should, I don't know. I don't think so. I was going to say added the videos. Maybe I'll do it another time. Add it tomorrow to a video or something. Let's see if we, let's pull up Fort Worth here, see what Fort Worth weather, maybe that'll pop it up here. A tornado watch in North Texas as severe weather threatens Fort Worth. Now I think it's a tornado leaves damage in Central Texas. Video from, at least 4 injured after tornado pounds Texas and Oklahoma. Well, let's see what this does. I don't know. I think I just ought to give up computers. Okay, why no audio from this? Oh, here it is.
Moving our way. Fox 35's Ray Vieta has some of the best images now coming in from that storm.
Yeah, he joins us now live. And Ray, what are you finding?
Well, Christy and John, this is incredible video that we're seeing coming out of Central Texas. One person spotted this funnel cloud just north of Austin. You can see it right there. Multiple people have reported seeing what seems like multiple tornadoes touching down. Take a look at this video just coming in. Man is screaming for people to get to safety. It looks like something straight out of a natural disaster movie, but this is real life, up close look at Mother Nature causing chaos in Texas. Again, this is in Round Rock, which is a suburb of Austin, just north of Austin.
Person taking the video, they're making me car sick or something, making me emotional.
There as what looks like a tornado approaches the building. This is in the parking lot that this is happening. Everyone is rushing inside. Debris flying all over the air as well, as you see people rushing there. Now take a look. This is Round Rock, and you can see the heavy clouds as well. People were surveying the scene after what looks like the funnel cloud is making its way through. People are rushing in as well to try to get to safety. This all happened in the evening hours, which is why you can see that it's light out there. This video just came into our newsroom. Let's show you part of a roof ripped off in North Texas. This is west of Fort Worth. A lot of damage to the building itself. This happened around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Hundreds of students were dismissed, luckily in time for when that tornado moved into that area. So as you can imagine, a lot of cleanup expected to take place in the coming days. Let's come back out live now to this interactive radar, which shows that storm system that's moving and causing all that chaos here in Texas will be headed our way to Central Florida. And for more on that, let's turn to Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brittany Lockley. Brittany, what are you seeing?
Well, right now it's not looking good for eastern portions of
I wonder if I go to Google Photos, if the stuff on my camera, let's see, Google Photos, okay, here we go. Okay, I do not see any, let's see, photos. Maybe I need to go to, no, let's see. Sell videos, maybe that's it. I hate computers. Oh, I have a confession to make. It's been 40 years since my last confession. I don't know why, but for a long time, on my birthdays, I always, I'll say, like, let's say when I was 30. When I was 30, I would be saying that I was thinking that I was 31, and I'd be blogging or whatever, YouTubing or whatever. Don't think YouTube was around then, but I've always been like it, then my birthday comes up and family or somebody will say, "No, you're not 31. You're just 30." And then there have been some other things along the same line. Well, I think for about the last year, I have been saying that I was 90 years old, and that on the 26th of the month, I was going to be 91. I forget how it came up today, but anyway, I was saying that I think probably in a video or something, I was saying that I was going to be 91 here in a few days. And then, I was thinking, I think I even asked my ex-wife. I don't think she listens to me. That's probably good. I think I said to her today, earlier, I said, am I 90 years old or am I 80 years old? She didn't answer me because I don't think she listens. And so finally I asked Echo. I can say that because I use the other word for the Echo system. I asked Alexa, how old is someone who was born in 1941?
Here's something I found on the web. According to everythingbirthday.com, born in, birth date, January 1st, 1900, currently 120 years old.
Alexa, how old is someone who was born in 1941?
Somebody born on January 1st, 1941 would be 81 years old today.
Okay, well, I was born in March.
This might answer your question. There are approximately 385,261 births per day across the globe.
Alexa, volume 1. Anyway, I asked, so I am not going to be 90. I'm going to be, at the end of this month, I'm going to be 81. I have just been granted, I think God gave me 10 years more life. Is that the way it works? Anyway, by the way, if anybody thinks that I'm, no, I haven't been making this up. I haven't been lying about it. Why would I lie about a thing like that? I think that's the name of a movie. It was a pretty good movie, by the way. Why would I lie about a thing like that? I wonder why those picture videos didn't show up. So it looks like my software and hardware is working. I think the audio is okay using the Elgato Wave 3. This camera up here, this is the Averta Media, very nice. And this is the Logitech Brio. Of course, I don't like that I've got an ugly head. So I put my head on for that protection, but I don't have any pants on, so I can't stand up. Now this camera, it has this shade that I didn't think I would like it. And I realized it comes down like that. Now this one up here, you know what though? Let's see. I can put the shade down on this one, and I can turn this one. I can turn it. How can I turn it to make sure I don't get in the view here? What am I going for? I'm going for the. Oh, that one's kind of rotating on its own. That's not good. Stop. Stop. Oh, I'm back. I've got an oddly shaped head. I have a feeling that when I was a baby that I don't even know if that's true. If you know, if you, you know, that a parent might leave a baby laying in the bed or something rather, and not, you know, not even sure that's true. And I don't know if my parents would have, you know. But I tell you, I've always had trouble like with hats. They hurt my head depending on the type. And I've had to, you know, I was like a welder for. So all day long I was wearing a welding helmet. And then I worked security, worked some, let's see, the first hospital I worked at, well, I worked some contract security jobs first for a little while. And then I had my own patrol service. I started my own patrol service. Had that for about over a year, and of course I didn't make myself wear a hat. And then I went to work for, then I worked hospital security, St. Joseph Hospital. Didn't have to wear a hat. Nuns were probably too cheap to buy hats. They didn't like to spend money for security. They needed security. We had 10 security officers total who worked there. We had, in the 3.5 or 4 years I was there, we had 2 of them shot about a year apart. Next hospital I went to, from St. Joseph Trinity Lutheran Hospital, and the director of security there said that you had to wear a hat. And I worked a day shift for a while, and then I went eventually to the second shift, and when he went home, I didn't wear my hat. I told him I did. Sometimes he'd, I'd even say, he'd be, a few times, or, he'd be getting ready to leave, to head on home, and I'd say, great, I got to take this hat off, whatever. He would like, you're funny. But, when he'd leave, I'd take my hat off. Everybody else would too, Then went to another hospital to work, and you had to wear your hat there, and they were really strict on it. And my head hurt all the time. There'd be a, crease across my head. And then after working there 5 years, they built a hospital out. In fact, that's the only reason I stayed. They built a hospital out in the small town where I lived, and I had to file a grievance to get out there, but I went through the grievance procedure and won, and I got sent out there. And of course I wasn't wearing my hat out there. Maybe sometimes I did. I had sort of a sixth sense or something, maybe. But I was out there, but anyway, wasn't out there very long, and I was making my rounds, not wearing a hat, by the way. And when I made my rounds, of course, I did different ways. I didn't do it the same way all the time. I did different things, and making the round through the hospital this time. But I opened up exit door, and it was dark out there in the parking lots. I saw some brake lights, and then I heard somebody yell, and I can't remember I couldn't tell if they were yelling police, security, guard, or whatever. And so I started out there, and their car took off. Their lid was open or whatever, and it was my car. They were trying to siphon gas out of my car. I ended up with their siphon hose. Anyway, called the police and gave them a little bit of a description. Couldn't give much of a description, but the officer said, he said, Jim, I know who it is. I'll take care of it. So he came back a little bit later, and he said, I talked to him. He says, they won't be doing that again. He says, is it okay with you? If it's okay with you, I'll just warn him. And I said, that's fine. Whatever that's fine. Okay. And so then I was finishing up a little bit of paperwork or whatever, and like I said, the hospital was new, small hospital. And we weren't even getting, we had patients, but I mean, it was just, you know. And the nurses called and said, could I come up there when I had time? There was strange, scary sounds up there on the, where the patients were. I said, okay. So I was starting up there. I had my hat on. I guess I put my hat on. And car pulls in, so I went over to see, and it was the new director of security. And he'd just taken over. The old director of security was a horrible person. I mean, horrible. And he knew how I felt about him, and he, somehow when he hired me, he called me. Well, I knew that he was looking for a security officer. I think he left some messages on my voice answering machine. I was using my voice, you know, and saying that he wanted to offer me a job and everything. Calling back, I never did. And then I was a reserve officer for a small police department, and I patrolled like one night a week or something like that. And then occasionally they would pay, you know, ask one of us to come in or something and work the day shift or do something, and they'd actually pay us for that. But every night or every Sunday night for years, that was my night. I patrolled, and eventually, then they had full-time officers. Eventually, but anyway, the new director of security showed up, and he introduced himself and everything. And I said, "Oh," he says, "I want to talk to you." I said, "Okay, well, I got to go upstairs." And he said, "Well, I'll go with you." And so we went up, and you could hear it. It was weird noise. I mean, like a moaning sound. And I said, "I think it's something to do with the vent system here or something." And I pulled over a ladder or something or other. Went up on the ladder, you know, so I could move the tile and up there. Went up, and of course the hat hit on my, and the director of security was standing, you know, there. I took the hat and, God damn sons of bitchin' hats, you know, whatever. And then I came down and I said, well, I'm going to have to go up on the roof, I think. And so went onto a hallway, and there was like a ladder on a ship or something, you know, metal thing welded to on the thing. So it was like a ship. I go up, and then there's a hatch, you know. There were no stairs going up onto the roof. This was the way you got up on the roof. So I go up there, and damn, hit, you know, the director of security's down, he's down there, you know, the new one. And God damn hats. And I went on up and checked and came back down, and anyway, talked to him, and the first thing he did was no hats, you know, you don't have to wear a hat. Don't wear a hat, so. Yeah, my head was not made for hats. So everything seems to be working okay. I think this audio works a lot better when I'm, you know, right up next to it. But I don't want to. This is. My arthritis is starting to bother me again, so I want to take a naproxen. And it is almost midnight. Got a few things I need to do on the computer. So I guess I'm going to thank you for checking in. And let's see if I got anything I'm going to be reviewing. Oh, I might ask you, I was talking to, well, exchanging emails with somebody. And talking about computers or whatever. he said that he, had seen the videos where I've had some trouble with audio and whatever. And I said, I think everything is fixed. Anyway, we were talking back and forth, and I said, well, maybe I should just get a new, brand new Windows 11, desktop computer. I said, they're not very expensive, and I checked the spec. Well, after I got off, I checked the specs, and then I saw I think it was like $300. One of those deals. I've never purchased a camera or a cell phone or a computer that I never took one of the deals. Refurbished, blah blah blah. But that I got to thinking, there was a guy one time who sent me for free a old Dell. What do they call those? Server, I think it was, and it was built like a battleship. And he sent it to me for free, and I'd never owned that. Like when you wanted to open up the case, the tray would slide out. You could pull the tray out that had the hard drive on it. You could pull this, and it was a hell of a computer. So I was thinking about that, and I thought, And I went to Amazon to look at. Well, in fact, I went there first. I was looking at new Windows computers. And then I saw this one where they have refurbished, guaranteed by Amazon, and can return within 90 days and all that kind of stuff. And it was, I think, like $300. And then plus too, some of the stuff about it, I've got a couple. I don't know if they'd fit, but I've got a couple really. I didn't buy them. My grandson did. He's big into computers, and so I've got a couple great. Well, I forgot about the one that's in my computer that now finally broke on me, gave up on me. Desktop that I've been using and that you've seen in many of the photos or whatever. But it has a really fancy video card. Maybe it would not work on this thing, but I have a couple other video cards that I got because he's big into video games, and he plays with, I think, a couple video for cards, and I think they're like $1,000 video cards or something, So, and then it said too that it took DDR4 memory. It came with DDR4 memory, and I think it came with 16 gigabytes of memory. Well, I've got some DDR4 memory from a couple other, from the Beeline or whatever. I upgraded that and used up, So, what do you think? And it's like $300. And I'm a poor man, but I've lost that much gambling at a casino. I've lost more than that gambling at a casino. So it'd be like taking a chance. And actually, I think I think Amazon would stand behind it and whatever. Oh, anyway, thanks for watching. Okay.